Calling all superpowers, all superheroes, all Unleash Your Inner Healer Challenge participants. Come on in, come on in. Join the fun. I'm going to get my bowl warmed up so we can get this party started. So invite your friends, get ready to unlock your superpowers. For the next 3 days, we are going to be bringing in some powerful energy to awaken your true self, your true gifts, and step into your true mission. So I want to hear from all of you this morning. Who here has ever felt paralyzing self-doubt, where you just aren't even sure if you can trust yourself to make the right decision? Say yes in the comments below if that is you. Hey, Erin, nice to see you, beautiful sister. Thank you for dropping in today. So, who has ever known the right thing to do and still listened to someone else when they tell you what they think? Yes? Anyone out there? So, who wants to have such a strong, powerful connection to universal consciousness and true source energy that you always know right where you are and right where you're going? Let me know if this is you in the comments below. Tammy says she is guilty of listening to others even when you know it's not the right thing. Yes, because we are in a society that tells us that we have to fit in. And so I have one more of these for you. So who had magical, transcendental experiences when you were young and you were told, that's not real? Just get your head out of the clouds. We live here on Earth. I know many people have come to me sharing how they were told, stop daydreaming, live in reality, learn to fit into the box that was created for you. So, yes, thank you, Erin, for responding as well. So perfect. So I'm going to give you as much information as I can in the next 3 days to get you started on your path of superhuman capacity, of really living to your full potential, to give you the confidence and the clarity to step onto your mission with a strong, clear, powerful step so that you can serve the purpose that you were brought here to this planet to serve. We have so many times where we're told, oh, just meditate more and then you can transcend this reality. But we are here in these bodies for a reason. We are not here in these bodies just to transcend to the spiritual. Otherwise, we could just float around as spirits. What's the point of being in the human body? So what I want to instill in you over the next 3 days is the awareness to bring your superpowers through this amazing vessel of a human body that you were gifted. And so, oh yeah, I'm getting some more comments coming through. Yes, this is resonating. That one lingers Still, Melanie is saying yes. So let's banish this paralyzing self-doubt, this need to please others, and really step into our power. So I'm going to share a little story with you all this morning. Some of you, if you've been following me for a while, you may have heard this story, but I wanted to kick off today, and my comment feed is frozen, so I may not see all of your comments as they come through, but I'm sure it'll catch up with us over time. So keep the comments coming. Keep letting me know what you struggle with so that I can address over the next 3 days what it is that you specifically struggle with. I threw out a few ideas of what some of us might struggle with, but I'd love to hear what is getting in your way of stepping onto your path of purpose and power, of living your true mission, full out, playing all the way, using your superpowers to change the world. I want to hear from some more of you what that is for you. And I'm going to check back in with the comments. And in the meantime, while you're dropping in, maybe what is your superpower and why are you not using it more effectively, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So I have, as many of you know, I have always been really connected to the earth, to nature, to the tree spirits. When I was a child, I fully believed that there were fairies all around me in the forest that I played in, and I would climb in the trees and they were my home. I spoke to the trees, but I never expected them to answer me. Until one day when I was in my early to mid 20s, I had moved back to the land I grew up on with my mom. I was having babies young, and so there I was living with my mom, and she has a walk she likes to take almost every day. She calls it the up and down walk. So I would go with her sometimes. We would go up the hill, we would come down the hill, and then we would go to visit a tree that she named Grandpa Cedar. Grandpa Cedar is a big, beautiful cedar tree, as you may have guessed. And so one day, my mom had traveled to Hawaii, and I decided to take the walk by myself. So I went up the hill, I came down the hill, and I went to visit Grandpa Cedar. I opened my arms wide and leaned in to give him a full body hug. I breathed in that pungent, sweet cedar aroma, and then all of a sudden, I felt the energy from my belly being pulled into the tree and up to the tippy top of the branches. It felt as if I were being held there. It felt as if that tree were saying to me, "Where is that lady who visits me every day? I miss her." And so I said in my mind, "Grandpa Cedar, please look out for my mother way over there across the ocean." And I visualized her sitting on a beach in Hawaii. And then I said, "Don't worry, we'll stay connected." And I gently withdrew my energy and walked back to my little cabin in the woods with my little baby boys. The next morning, I awoke before dawn and I went into meditation. I was wondering if I was really connected to Grandpa Cedar. And so I sent my awareness back to the tree and I went on a journey. Grandpa Cedar showed me an electrical web of light that encircles the entire globe. I found myself floating there, feeling the information traveling all around me through these electrical synapses. It was such a profound experience that I called my mother later and told her about it. Do you know what she said? She said, "You are absolutely crazy. No, actually, that's not my mother. She said, wow, I was wondering why I saw Grandpa Cedar when I was sitting on the beach yesterday. So this really opened my eyes to a much more expansive vision of reality. Has anyone else had an experience where you suddenly realized there was so much more than what you had been living as your entire life? I would love to hear some of your stories at some point as well, because I know there are some good ones out there. So many years later, I found a book. I came across a book by Paul Stamets. He's a mushroom expert from Washington State. And he wrote a book called Mycelium Running. It's all about what they call the brain of the forest, which is made up of mushroom roots, mycelia, that connect the roots of the trees underneath the ground. And through these connections, the trees share nutrients and information. And the picture of the mycelial network looks exactly like the picture or the vision, sorry, exactly like the vision that Grandpa Cedar showed me so many years ago. And now, as I dive deeper into the science of why the practices I do work, I have learned that in quantum physics, what for many decades science described as empty space, they now know that none of that space is empty. It is full of energetic filaments, and the energy in the space all around us, when they're able to show it, it also looks exactly like the mycelial network, which looks exactly like the neural structure of our brain, the neurons connecting and firing. And so what this shows is that in that empty space is consciousness. This is why we can connect psychically to people who are far distant, why I can do energy healing with people in Australia and they will have profound, dramatic results because we really are all connected through the energy field. So I'm going to come back to your comments in a moment. I'm just going to wrap this story up by saying, even with these profound consciousness expanding experiences that I had when I was young, even with a lifelong meditation and yoga practice, I still found myself in self-doubt, in self-judgment, listening to others with strong opinions, even when I knew in my heart and in my gut that that wasn't the right thing to do. So it took a lifetime of practice and going into the shadow world, into my own deep, dark corners that I was hiding from myself, before I finally came to love and appreciate who I truly am and see myself as a beautiful, valuable person. And so, wherever you are on that journey, I just want you to know that you are not alone. After I finally came to love myself and extricated myself from a toxic relationship with my kid's dad, I found myself in my dream life traveling the country, working with Qigong seminars, and falling in love with, for the first time, falling in love with another human because I had fallen in love with myself. And then all of a sudden, everything was taken from me, and the universe was sending me a strong message. My kid's dad stole my money. I lost my house. I lost my job. And the stress of all of this the love of my life walked out the door. I was left with nothing, living in the back of my van, still lots of things, nothing that felt important, but I was living in the back of my van, and I still thought, I'm going to get that man back. It's funny how the mind works, right? And so I reached out to him and I said, do you want to see me? He said no. I was devastated. I thought my life is over. Everything I built is gone. And then it started to turn nasty. And I was like, this is not me. I just want a peaceful resolution. And then it hit me. I can make that peaceful resolution. And so I sent him a text. I never meant you any harm. I am sorry for any way I hurt you. He responded in kind, and then the magic started. I got an offer to teach at a retreat in Costa Rica. I found a 4-leaf clover, and that is when I knew that the universe was taking all of these distractions out of my path so that I could step fully into my true mission. My true mission is to bring as many humans as I can into the awareness that you are a magical, infinite being, and you have the power to connect to this universal consciousness to create magic in your life, to help others to see. So I'm going to come back into your comments now. And as I'm going back to the comments from before the story, I want to hear who here is ready to step fully onto your path, onto the path of your true mission. And who would like to see that? Nancy says judging herself and others. Yes, that is a big one. Patty, what's essential is invisible to the eye. Okay, so I didn't get a lot of messages from before the story, but that's okay. So keep them coming. And let me know if when you think of stepping onto the path of your true mission, let me know what that is, and let me know if you are still a bit confused about what is your true mission. That's okay. It's an unfolding, it's a process. So even though I had that magical transcendental moment where I realized I am here to serve and to bring through the divine feminine and to heal others, I didn't know how to do it or what it was going to look like. So as I came back into my power, I hired mentors to help me, to teach me, to give me more tools, both more tools to help others and more tools to build a business. And so wherever you are on that path, know that you do not have to do it alone. There is help for you, both here in the physical world through other humans and in the energetic world. There are spirits that have your back. And so I am here to help you connect to the help that is here for you. And if you resonate with what I've shared and you resonate with learning tools to heal from within, to help others heal, and to step onto your true mission with purpose and power and learn how to bring your unique gifts into the world to serve others. And even if you like to create a financial foundation for yourself to live your dreams, that is what I am here to help you with. So we're going to do some practices. I have gathered so many tools along my journey, and I'm always gathering more. So today we're going to talk a lot about the underlying ways that this works. And I'm getting, yay, the comments are coming through. There's always a bit of delay. So I'm getting a yes, me, so much so, me. Tanya says she's been working with angels all of her life, but I feel mutual that was my purpose. I'm not sure if I quite understand that comment, Tanya. So clarify a little bit about what you feel is your purpose. Is your purpose working with angels, or you feel that there's more to your purpose? I'd love to get a little clarity on that. Nancy says, thank you. I don't normally look at Facebook in the morning, was drawn to it today and found you exactly what I needed to hear. Oh, needing healing and connection. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. And please feel free to reach out privately to get some direct personal healing and connection. And I will absolutely keep sharing my message and my purpose, because that's what I'm here to do. Patty says it's a knowing without attachment to subjective words. Yes, yes. And Mina says, I'm not sure how to present myself in some ways. Mina, we're gonna get into that a little bit more, and I'm always here and available to give you personalized guidance. And at the end of this video, I will let you all know how you can reach out to me if you would like some personalized guidance. You do not need to wait till the end of the challenge to reach out for personalized guidance. You are welcome to wait till the end of the challenge and just soak up everything you can, and you don't have to. Melanie says, it looks like mentorship to me, but I don't have any coaching classes, just the energy work I learned in my experiences, but I'd love to help people transform their lives. Melanie, again, if you would like some personalized tips for what those next steps might look like for you, I would be happy to make some time to offer that to you. Tanya, always wanting to help humankind since a child, and as I got older, I was diverted through pain and sorrow, but still have faith and also work with energy to help and heal myself and others. Beautiful, beautiful. So often we get distracted by pain and sorrow, and then we realize that that is where our true gift lies, is going through that pain and sorrow and learning how to heal. Then we are able to help others more fully. Patty says, an aha moment, the path is being the path. Oh, beautiful, Patty, beautiful. Tammy says she's still learning how she's supposed to help others. I feel like I will get clarity this week in Shasta. Oh, you're going to be in Shasta this week, Tammy. I live just very close to there, so I'd love to hear how that goes. Send me a message and let me know. Patty says, the right path for me is being the path for myself and others. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing of your hearts, my friends. That is really helpful for me to recognize where we come together and how I can be of greater service to all of you over the next 3 days. So we're going to talk today a little bit about the underlying science, and then tomorrow we will be going into some practices that will help you connect all of the pieces. And then on Friday, we will be wrapping it up with a little bit more explanation about how it works and why it works and how you might take it to the next level. Does that sound good? All right. So as I shared, science has shown now the visceral universal consciousness that fills up all of the space around you, within you, out into the universe. And so we really literally are all connected. You may have heard some of these quantum physics experiments where they take two particles that are connected, separate them in space by maybe 14 miles, and then everything that they do to the one particle, the other particle responds to. They have also shown when they put particles into a container, they will be randomly floating around. And then when they add a strand of human DNA, the particles all arrange themselves in a spiral around the DNA. And then if they take that DNA out, the particles will continue to arrange themselves in this way. And so many, many experiments have shown how we're all connected. And yet still, most of us go around through life not even fully connecting the parts of our own being. So I'm going to go over some very, very extremely basic brain science here. We're just going to talk about the most basic ways that the brain works and how we might connect the brain and the body more effectively, because they always told us when we were young, you're only using 10% of your brain capacity. I don't know if this is entirely true, but I do know that most of us are not living to our full potential. And even those of us that do work with a lot of synapses firing, we still can always learn and grow more. And so our brain, at the most basic division, we have what they call the reptilian brain in the brain stem, right where the skull is connecting to the spine. Let's tap on this and wake up the reptilian brain for a moment. Just gently tap right on your occipital ridge where your brain is connecting to your spinal cord. Just gently tap here while you're listening to me for a moment. The reptilian brain is the center of survival. This is connected to your fight and flight response, which is very valuable if a tiger is attacking you. But in the modern world, it becomes stuck on. And so one way, when you are getting that fight or flight response, one way you can soften it is just to tap on this part of your brain and remind it that it is not needed right now. So clearing out the reptilian brain, tap, tap, tap. Take a deep breath and cover your ears. Letting it go. Beautiful. And then at the center of our brain, we have the limbic brain. The limbic brain controls the autonomic nervous system, and it is known as the emotional brain. And so the emotions drive the autonomic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system informs the emotions. And so we can get stuck in cycles where our body is telling us to have the emotion that our brain told our body to have, and this controls the heart rate and the breathing, and then the breathing and the heart rate control the emotions, and we can just get stuck in these cycles if we let ourselves. Now, the next part I'm going to talk about today is the neocortex, the outer portion of the brain, which can be divided at the most simplistic level into the right brain and the left brain. The right brain, which controls the left side of the body, is the feminine aspect. The divine feminine aspect is expressed through the right brain, the creativity, the go with the flow. And this part is very connected to the limbic brain, the emotional body. We're very driven by our emotions when we are overly in the right brain. And then the left brain, which controls the right side of the body, is considered the masculine energy. This is the analytical brain, the logical brain. It's also very connected to the reptilian brain, where we turn on our survival instincts. And so when we're overbalanced to the left brain, we can become aggressive. But we don't want to turn off the left brain and become passive. We want to bring these two sides into balance. We want them to be communicating with each other. We want them to be utilizing that survival instinct and the emotional body towards the highest good. And when they're really connecting and firing together, then that's when those electrical impulses flow through the center of our brain and decalcify the pineal gland and awaken our higher states of being, our supernatural experiences, our transcendental meditation experiences. And so, who has heard about the gut brain? The gut brain is a real thing. In the abdomen, we actually have more neural synapses than we do in the brain in the head. And so when you have been told, listen to your gut, that is actually really valuable information. And when we are tuning in our intuition, this is an important place to be connected. Too many of us are disconnected between the gut brain and the thinking brain. And this is somewhat deliberate in our modern world. We are very conditioned by media to want things that we don't need. And this includes the imbalance in the physical body that has led to an epidemic of obesity, because our mental brain isn't listening to the gut brain in terms of what food we actually need that will nourish our body versus what we want to taste, that the gut might be saying, hey, enough already, I don't want that, but we don't listen. And so it's very important to have a strong connection between those two areas. And then I want to ask, hi Tina, I want to ask you all, and I never know about how long the comment delay happens, so if you answer me and I miss it. So I want to know, who knows what organ in the body has the greatest electromagnetic field? And while I'm waiting to see who gives me the answer, I want to remind you all that we truly are energetic beings. We have more of this empty space that's really not empty, that's full of electrical consciousness firing through it throughout our body, than we have of actual solid matter. And we can't move without electrical impulses firing through our nerves into our muscles that tell them where to go. And so all of this electrical activity creates an electrical field. And that's actually what they call the quantum reality, that is full of this consciousness energy, the field, the quantum field. We are a part of the quantum field. And so each and every human has an energetic field around her, around him, around the body, that is just as much a part of you as the physical body. It may even be more the real part of you than the physical body. And yes, the first answer is the right one. Joan says the heart. Yes, the heart has the greatest energy field of the body. One person I asked said the skin, and that's an interesting answer, because the skin is the largest organ of the body, but it is not where we're producing the most energy. And some people might think the brain. Tina said, Joan actually guessed the heart and then the brain. But your first guess was the right one. And this is one of those things of trusting the first intuition is often the best way to go. And Tina said the pineal gland. And the brain is creating an energy field. Now, how many of you have heard of the toroidal field that surrounds the human body? This is actually the heart field. So that energy field that is described as a giant donut moving up through the central channel, out through the crown, and around the outermost reaches of your auric field, this is actually centered in the heart. The heart is creating this immense field of energy, which can be as much as 10 feet out from your body. So if you have other humans anywhere near you, your heart fields are interacting with each other. And when we learn to interact truly from our heart, this is when the magic really happens. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about heart coherence and brain coherence, and the Heart Math Institute, just to bring it around full circle. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Heart Math Institute. The Heart Math Institute has created a technology to measure this field of the heart. And they have been working with trees, and they are showing how trees respond to human emotions just like humans respond to trees. And so this experience that I had, that I kept to myself for so many years, is actually really important to share with the world, because this is our birthright, to be connected to all life, not just through our words and thoughts and ideas, but through the heart, through the field of the heart. And I love what I'm seeing in the comments. Patty says transformation chakra is heart green. And yes, the green color of the forest and what that feels like, how that turns on our heart coherence, is an important place to look. Because when you get into nature and you quiet your mind and you tune into your heart, then you are actually turning on your healing capacity. And we're going to do some exercises with this tomorrow. So be sure you come back tomorrow. And Mina is saying there is a tiny walnut big brain in our heart, scientists found. So I'm going to share one more little tidbit of bringing these things together, because most of you here in my group are aware of the chakra system. It has become very widespread knowledge, and I was raised with yoga, and I'm still always learning more and more information about how the energy systems work in the body. And so each of those chakras, each of those energy wheels, is actually also a nerve plexus. So the ancient mystics were able to sense, feel, and see the way the energy moves through the body, and that actually points to the physical and chemical anatomy of the body. So each of the chakras is not just representing these functions in the body, but actually physically interacting with the hormone systems of the body. So when you are physically in the root chakra, this is a nerve plexus, a concentration of nerves that is functioning to control the hormonal reactions in the reproductive organs. And as you move up into the second chakra, there is a nerve plexus there that is affecting the hormones that control the digestive and eliminative functions, and so on. As you move into each chakra, you can see an anatomical connection. And this is also true of the meridians that were described by Chinese medicine. And they actually transmit light. Your body is actually transmitting light. And the connective tissue in the body, called the fascia, is actually transmitting light. And so we want to keep our body moving, to keep our energy moving, so that we can transmit more light and really, truly become a being of light, a light warrior. Tina said she loved the healing we did with Grandpa Cedar. Oh, yes. I love when Grandpa Cedar comes through to help me offer healing to others. And Patty is saying, just be in the being like the trees. Yes, yes. This is so much of how we bring forth our superpowers, by just being, by taking, and I do not, some people say turn off the mind. I say leave on your mind and turn on the other parts of your mind. Turn on the brains that are spiraling throughout your body. Each energy center, each chakra is its own mini brain. And when we can learn to communicate with our thinking brain to our feeling brain, and then we can learn to no longer identify with the conditioned brain, but to open up to who we truly are, that's when our superpowers really come out. And thank you for sticking with me for this long video. For those who are still here with me or have just joined, I am going to ask that for the action, if you are participating in this video today, come back for tomorrow and Friday, participate in the videos, leave comments, share your thoughts. Everyone that comes for all 3 videos and does the actions that I ask you to complete at the end of the video is going to be entered into a drawing to win a private hour-long healing session with me. Every one of you who participates in even one of these videos is qualified to get a 30-minute consultation where we go over tips and tools to give you your next steps on your healer's journey. I call that an inner healer breakthrough session. This is different than the 60-minute healing sessions that I'll be giving away as prizes. So you are welcome to take advantage of the Inner Healer Breakthrough session, whether you win the 60-minute healing session that I will be gifting on Monday or not. In order to qualify for the drawing, you need to come to all 3 videos, comment. I'm asking you to start today by inviting at least 3 friends to our group. That's going to be the big action for today. Share in the comments your biggest takeaway from today's video. Invite 3 of your friends and then tag them in the comments. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow for a deep dive practice so that you can experience how these technologies work in practice. And thank you so much for your kind attention today. I am so glad that you enjoyed it and got something out of this session. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Namaste.